guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Crown Hyundai in St. Pete, Florida, and guess what? We have it first for you, a refresh and an update of one of the longest standing nameplates in Hyundai's lineup. It's this vehicle right here. This is your refresh, updated, changed up 2024 Hyundai Elantra. This particular one is the N-Line. But before we get into this sporty compact sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. Like I mentioned, Elantra is one of the longest running nameplates. It's been around since 1992, but it's not the OG longest lasting. That award goes to the Sonata. Sonata has been around since 1989. The only other sedan that was sold before the Sonata, which does not exist anymore, is the Hyundai Excel. You could get it as a sedan or as a hatchback. Fast forward to model year 2024, Hyundai decided to take their popular compact sedan and make some big changes, not only aesthetically, but also to the interior as well. But what I want to find out is, if you're looking for a sporty style compact sedan, you don't want to go all the way with the Elantra N, because you can. There is a Type R competitor, Honda Civic Type R competitor known as the Elantra N. You don't want to go that route. You want to go somewhere in between. Is this Elantra N-Line the better one to buy over the Honda Civic Si? So let's go ahead. Let's dive into this intense blue. That's the name of the color. Intense blue Elantra N-Line and find out. Right off the bat, the style. You're going to notice a very modern, ultra contemporary style compared to the Honda Civic. Now at the front of the business is where you're going to see the biggest of the changes. And it all starts with our headlight design. New headlight housing, much smaller, much more angular. You're going to have your daytime running lamp that actually intersects into the grille, stops, and then you're going to have LED headlights, and your turn signals are built in. And then you'll notice in this area down in the corner, they redesigned it. Full functionality. It is a functional air curtain. I like the way there's just a little bit of gloss black. And then I'm really digging this satin silver that they did. It almost looks like a gunmetal gray. It gives it that little extra something something at the front of the vehicle. One thing I would have liked to have seen are some fog lamps somewhere. But I do like the way you have the functional air curtain. Very aggressive, very angular, like I said, compared to the Honda Civic Si. Now, as we come across that low slung nose, what do we got going on? You're gonna get your N-Line badge. So this is not a true N vehicle, it's an N-Line. So you are gonna get a little bit more performance. Like I said, if you wanna go all in, they do have changes for the Elantra N as well. And we will be bringing that to you as soon as we get our hands on those. But I do like the way they went very wide and aggressive, fully functional on the top vent area, some gloss black with the changes for 2024. And then look at the way they brought the silver. Nicely done. Lower grille area. Look at how you can see the silver intercooler from behind, because remember, we have a turbocharged, intercooled inline 4 engine. Guess what? Just like the Honda Civic Si. Now I like the way they did this lower lip, extends out nicely with the silver trim, and this is functional. We're trying to stop air from going underneath the Elantra N-Line and getting it to scoop in the larger area, which is going to help cool all the heat exchangers. But let me know if you, first of all, like the difference between 2024 and 2023 on the Elantra N-Line, and if you like the front of this vehicle more than the Honda Civic Si. Now, as we rise up that low slung hood, V for victory, I'm digging how they now have just a flat integrated Hyundai badge. Nice aluminum finish. They used to put the shiny chrome one that was kind of stuck on. I never really liked that, but this really works. We come around the bend. If we have a new front fascia, new lighting, guess what? We also have all new wheels. So what you're gonna find on the N-Line are these metallic black, flat black wheels. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? You're basically looking at an 18-inch wheel. And I like the design. I know it seems a little busy, but I just think it fills in this area very nicely with that darker color and the metallic to it. You do have an N badge at the front on those center caps, just like we had at the front of the vehicle. You have your M badges on all the center caps. And then they did tune the suspension. So this is not just the same suspension off a regular Elantra sedan. They did tune it to give it more sportier feel, sportier handling, those types of things. But of course, this is front wheel drive, just like the Honda Civic Si. But let me know if you like the new wheel style. I'm digging it. You do get an N-Line badge on the side fender, which is nice, not just at the front. And I'm really, really liking the deep, intense blue color. That metal flake in there really, really works fantastic on this body style. Now, as we come down the side, you are gonna get gloss black on the mirror caps, gloss black around the window frame openings. You get a standard size sunroof, just like on the Civic Si. And then down below, look at that massive side skirt extension. Full aerodynamic efficiency, and it gives it that extra aggressive sporty style. One of the things I'm not 100% in love with the Elantra is all the geometric triangle shapes. I prefer the cleaner shape of the Civic Si, but let me know in the comment section if you're digging this, if it grew on you, or if you just hate it. Working your way towards the rear, you're still gonna have those vortex generators on that rear quarter area in this rear pillar. And then coming to the rear quarter panel, you notice all those angle lines. And then guess what? We have all new on the back. New taillight design, like the way they brought that H style. The lighting goes all the way across, super thin LED all the way across. We have a new trunklet spoiler. It's got a nice kick up to it, that flush Hyundai badge, and the flush letters on the Elantra nameplate. And then as we drop down to ground level, you do have a dual outlet exhaust, stainless steel tip that is unique to the N-Line. It's not the same exhaust off of the Elantra N, and it's definitely not the same exhaust on any other Elantra sedan that they have available. So I do like the way they give you a unique exhaust, and I'm okay with this vehicle having the dual outlets on one side. I like the way they did the simulated rear diffuser. Everything gloss black, just like on the nose. And then that silver trim that runs along the bottom. But like I said, let me know what you're thinking about the new look of this Elantra N-Line. We're gonna go ahead, pop the hood, and show you what's underneath it. All right, guys, we got the hood open. You do have a prop rod. The Civic Si also has a prop rod, so that's even Stevens. Underneath the hood, you do have a turbocharged engine, and I like the way they just kept it simple. They didn't put a bunch of plastic all over everything. They do have some smaller covers, and I'm okay with that, but you still get to see everything else. But what are we actually looking at here? You're looking at a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline four that puts out 201 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. Now, if you compare that to the Honda Civic Si, it's almost a dead even total. The Civic Si uses a 1.5 liter turbocharged engine that puts out 200 horsepower. Like I said, this one has 201 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. The biggest difference, there's two big differences. This car comes with a 7-speed DCT, dual clutch transmission. The Si only comes in a manual. I'm okay with that, but I know a lot of people either don't know how to drive manual or don't want to drive a manual car. But I'm all about the 6-speed in the Si. It's one of the best in the business that's still around. 0 to 60 in this particular vehicle, 6.9 seconds. The other thing that holds the N-Line back when it comes to performance is there's no LSD. No, not the drugs. I'm talking about no limited slip diff. The Civic Si does have a limited slip diff. But 0 to 60 is pretty much even. The weight is 3,020 pounds. MPG's 28 in the city, 36 on the highway. So you're definitely gonna win when it comes to getting that better fuel efficiency. 28 in the city, that's quite respectable. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this up and hear what kind of noise comes out the exhaust. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 updated, refreshed Hyundai Elantra N-Line. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want something a little sporty. I'm not ready to go all in on an Elantra N or a Honda Civic Type R, but I just want something sporty that gets good gas mileage and, you know, I feel good to drive. I'm very curious about this N-Line. How much is it? Very good question. First of all, it's going to be cheaper than the Honda Civic Si. Honda Civic Si comes in around $32,000. This comes in $2,000 less at an MSRP of $30,000. But let's see what you get on the interior. To the door panels. I do have to zonk the top portion of the door panel is hard black plastic, but where they win me over is with the soft touch material in the center, and especially with the triple level of red contrast stitching. Tasteful speaker grill cover up top for the tweeter. No gloss black, but the armrest is non-existent as well. So there's no gloss black, but there's no armrest. So that's a zonk. But you do have a good amount of room for, I would say, 3 chili dogs from Checkers and a nice large checker fry to wash it down. We got the Bose sound system. And then going from the door panel to the dash, some soft material on the top portion of the dash. I do like the gunmetal grain. If you notice, there's ambient lighting in here that will illuminate at night. You come on in, you got a 10.25 inch screen, larger than what's in the Civic Si. Real knobs, your start-stop button with a little bit of anodized red trim around it. Dual climate control, which is nice. 3 stages of heated seats, no ventilated seats. I'm going to move this out of the way for Steven to show you that we have wireless charging, a place for a Snickers, USB-C and a USB-A, and a 12 volt. I gotta zonk this. An Elantra should never come with an oh crap handle. There's no point to this. Get rid of it. I almost want to get like a jigsaw and just cut this out. On the side, you do have a little nook here for 3 Nature Valley granola bars. Just make sure you have some paper towels because those damn things are going to make a mess all over the place. This guy right here is going to control the 7-speed DCT. Yes, you heard correctly. It's a 7-speed. That means it's not the same dual clutch transmission that is in the Elantra N. That is an 8-speed dual clutch transmission. Totally different gearbox, but you get the same great looking shifter with the perforated leather, the M badge, the anodized material, the red stitching, 2 cup holders, a good old-fashioned e-brake, and then here is your silver key fob. You can see the H there for Hyundai. Remote start, which is nice. Not the greatest. I definitely have felt better. Lift it up. You got enough room in there, I would say, for about 30 packages of garbage pail kids. So maybe Atom Bomb, Ray Gun, all those different classics. And I'm looking for my old ones. My dad says he threw them away when I was in elementary school, but I hope that he lied to me. I'm gonna go to my parents' house and see if he has them hidden in his closet because they might be worth some money now. Maybe I could retire. Seats, you got some simulated leather, some red stitching, then you got some grippy cloth. Look at the N embossed in the cloth. Love the bolstering with the simulated leather, the red stitching, manual adjustments for the passenger. I have electric assist because I am the captain of this Elantra N-Line. And then, like we pointed out, you do have that standard size sunroof. And somebody forgot this, the protective film when they ship these. So I will make sure to dispose of that properly. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind this N steering wheel in this N-Line. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. The nice thing is when you go N-Line, you're going to get a nice pedal box. So you have a large aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. And then you'll see the seat controls. Easy to get to. You got that lower lumbar, which feels great. I'm 6 feet tall, and they did arrange this very well to give you plenty of room. Steering wheel right out of the Elantra N. So you have the 2-piece leather, perforated smooth, the red stitching, the N badge, flat gray on all the switchgear. I like the large paddles to go up and down that 7-speed dual clutch transmission. And then you do have the world's largest drive mode selector button with the anodized red. And watch this, I'm gonna have Steven show you on our 10.25 inch dash display how this is going to work. So you're just gonna hit that button, and now we could go into our different modes: sport, smart, and then back to normal. Who the hell wants to be normal? I'm staying in sport. And then when you're in the mode, you actually can scroll through a cornucopia of information in the center. Your lane keep assist, your MPGs, tire pressure, all those little goodies in the center. Nice to have a full digital display like that. And of course, it is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. But why don't we go ahead? We got 4 doors for more friends. Let's get in the back seat and see how they're gonna feel that you went Elantra over the Civic. All right, guys, back seat time. And you know what? These compacts are not so compact anymore when it comes to compact sedans. Lots of room back here. I actually think a little bit more room than the Honda Civic Si, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. No pockets on either of the seats. So if you have, your Hellraiser doll, and it's got all those, pins coming out of the Hellraiser's head that you're gonna have to put in between your legs, and you may never have kids if you squeeze too tight on your Hellraiser doll in between your legs. That's gonna hurt. Little back of the command center, you do have USB-C, so that's a good plus. Would have been nice to have some AC vents. It's like they were like, hey, we're gonna design this to give you AC vents, and then they're like, oh, just kidding, it's April Fool's Day, no AC vents, but you do have the USB-Cs. The room is nice. The hard plastic is not so nice, but you do have a nicely padded armrest with 2 cup holders. And I love the way they did the rear seats to mimic the seats up front. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the trunk, because I want to take you for an on-throttle spin in this Elantra N-Line. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk of the N-Line. You're just gonna hit the hidden button. I love the way they hide the button there. Just hit that. Lift it up, you're gonna be greeted to almost 15 cubic feet of space. You'll see we have the optional cargo net holder here. You could put your watermelon, your cantaloupes, your honeydew, so it doesn't roll around and crack open. That's not gonna be a fun time cleaning up all this mishmash of watermelon and honeydew. This is not a lunch bag. This is the optional roadside assistance kit. And then of course you'll notice that the seats will fold down, 60-40 split, and you're able to do that all by pulling the handles very easily. But why don't we go ahead, I'm gonna close this trunk. We have this sporty spoiler on the back. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go for a little spin and see how this Elantra N-Line drives. All right, guys, we left Crown Hyundai. We're in this 2024 Hyundai Elantra N-Line. We're gonna go ahead and first get out onto the highway and see how this vehicle drives and handles. I'm gonna hit the world's largest drive mode button. Now we're in sport. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. On throttle, here we go. 7-speed DCT drops down and we're off. So you're definitely gonna have plenty of pep to get you up to speed. And like I said, this is really for the person who wants a little bit more sporty driving experience, but they're just not willing or ready to go Elantra N or Honda Civic Type R. On the highway, you are gonna get a bit of road noise and a bit of wind noise, but that's to be expected in this type of sportier sedan. Getting to the 10.25-inch infotainment system is well within reach. Obviously, you got that beautiful 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster in front of you. More technology in the screen specs than what you're gonna find in a Honda Civic Si. Steering wheel feels great. I like the way all the switchgear is like a flat gray gunmetal finish. And then you do have those larger paddles to get up and down the 7-speed DCT. Seats, comfy, they're supportive. I actually like the seats better in this Elantra N-Line than I do in the Civic Si. And of course, because we're in sport, that's going to adjust how the steering sensation is, throttle sensitivity, and how the 1.6 liter turbocharged engine behaves with the dual clutch transmission. What I'm gonna do is you actually take that good looking shifter and pull it over to the left. That's gonna now allow you to use the paddles. You do have a small gear indicator up in the middle of the left-hand corner of the screen. I would prefer that to be a little larger. But other than that, this is what's going to help increase the driving engagement in this Elantra N-Line, because the gears are going to be all up to you depending on if you're hitting the right paddle or the left paddle. And then of course visibility is really fantastic out the front. It's just some of the materials in here I just wish were a little nicer. I feel like the Civic Si brings a little bit more to the softer, nicer material finish. But I do like the light blue ambient lighting, which obviously will be easier to see at night, and the fact that you have all the connectivity, wireless charging, USB-A and USB-C. All right, guys, pulling away from the light. On throttle, here we go, second gear. Using those paddles. Really, really nice to just be able to hit them up or down and get that instant sensation. It could be a little bit quicker, but the good news is that if you want an 8-speed dual clutch, you could get that with the Elantra N. But driving down the road, it's actually quite comfortable and sporty at the same time. They did a really good compromise with this. Also, remember, like I said, the Honda Civic Si is not available with any kind of automatic transmission. It is only available with the 6-speed manual. But I do love that 6-speed manual that is in the Honda Civic Si. But you have great steering feel. The screen is so easy to read. We're going over some ripped up pavement to give you an idea how the suspension handles it. And then of course, we're gonna take you down some twisty bits to show you how this Elantra N-Line behaves. But into this right-hand bend, holds a line nicely. You don't have too much body roll, and the good news is it's not very bouncy. I think that's one of the things that I like. One of the things I don't like is that you don't have the limited slip diff. But let's go on throttle off the line. On throttle, here we go. So like I said, you're getting pretty quick shifts when using the paddles. Feels like a nice purposeful shift, which is great. And the way that this vehicle holds a line very well, I think is very telling of the work that Hyundai did with the suspension and the dampening of the shock absorbers at all four corners. Sound in the cabin is nice. You're getting a little bit of engine sound, especially out of that dual outlet exhaust. Let me drop it down to first gear. We're gonna get some space between us and the vehicle in front of us. But yeah, these seats are very comfortable. I'm liking the bolstering. I'm liking the comfort level. On throttle, here we go, first gear. On the brakes. Nice, look at that. This is where it gets fun. If you have the right road and you know what the heck you're doing behind the wheel, this is where it gets good. But look at this, it holds a line really nicely. It's easy to modulate the throttle. And I like the feedback that's coming through the wheel. I think that's another thing to point out that's very, very important is you're getting really good feedback through the wheel. All right, guys, we're gonna go on throttle again, second gear. On throttle, here we go. All the way up to 6,500 RPM. Really nice. It's fun to drive. Smooth on the downshifts. Look at that, smooth as butter. Just need a limited slip diff. I think the power output is just fine for this type of car. And that allows you to have fun without getting too over your head and running into some problems that maybe you're not prepared for, because, you know, not everybody has the same skill set or wants to be driving at that level. I think this allows you to have fun and, you know, not break the sound barrier, which is good. But definitely using the paddles changes the whole experience in this N-Line. I can't wait to get into the new Elantra N. But I tell you, it gets the power to the ground nicely. And when you shift, it's so smooth and quick, it does not upset the chassis, which is good news. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what the Elantra N-Line is bringing for 2024. We're gonna get back to Crown Hyundai and wrap this one up, so I will see you in a nanosecond. All right, guys, been another great day here at Crown Hyundai. Definitely want to thank Casey and the rest of the crew getting us their very first refresh updated 2024 Hyundai Elantra N-Line. Let me know what you think. Do you like the changes that Hyundai has made? Especially enough to where you rather have this over a Honda Civic Si? Let me know which way you're going to spend your money in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rise family. Of course, we need to give it up Stephen Flood. Stephen Flood Photography. He's a big Honda guy. He has his Honda Civic Type R, that FK8. Give him a follow on Instagram, sfloodphoto. Give him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you're doing. Just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.